Welcome back to the Daily Crypto Market Update. Good news, everybody. Arthur Hayes, the former CEO of BitMEX, the crypto exchange that basically did all this stop-loss hunting and basically manipulated the order books to make a lot of money. Guy went to jail. He was totally discredited, and now he's come back and people are listening to him. He says that a 70% Bitcoin crash is off the table as the 4-year cycle is dead. Arthur, thank you so much for watching my channel. I am honored, and I am so thankful that you are, because the fact that you're saying a 70% Bitcoin crash is off the table, it's hilarious, because I'm pretty sure 4 years ago you said the same thing with everybody else saying the 4-year cycle is dead. All you guys have to do, if you don't know who Arthur Hayes is, just Google BitMEX, just Google all the stuff that happened between him and his company, and he is not a reputable figure to listen to. He's not. A lot of his analysis has been really wrong. This is also the guy that basically sold all of his hype at a good spot and then panic bought back in, realizing that, oh no, he made a bad decision, and now it's down again. What? He says a 70% Bitcoin crashes off the table because he believes that the 4-year cycle is dead. Can you see my thumb? Thanks, Arthur. Thanks for subscribing. I'm glad you're watching. Other crazy news, people in Gaza are ecstatic after President Trump halts the war. And there's a quote here: "We can't believe it. Thank God the war has ended. Both Israelis and the people of Gaza know Trump has succeeded big time." Whether or not you agree with this is just a guy who's reporting, but there has been a peace deal between Israel and Palestine, or rather with Hamas, from what I understand. I don't understand everything, but like it says here, there's a ceasefire, a 72-hour window begins for hostages to be released. Now, what's really interesting about this news is that this takes some pressure off of the geopolitical landscape. If any of you have been watching the price of gold, which I certainly have because it has been literally skyrocketing, I'm guessing that the pullback here for gold happened when this ceasefire was announced. I could be 100% wrong, just so you know, but understand that the sole purpose for gold to pump is it's basically a barometer of the health and the well-being of the world. And when gold is pumping, it does not represent health and wealth. When gold is pumping, that typically reflects traditional investors are buying gold as a store of value because they're worried about what's happening in the world, either with the global financial outlook or the geopolitical outlook. So a peace treaty between Israel and Hamas, or whatever, Palestine, whatever it is, I mean, I'm not surprised that gold had a pullback for that. I should also point out that gold had a crazy high on RSI at 92.96. The last time we saw RSI this high was in March 2024. This is an insane level of overbought euphoria. I'm not saying, and I don't wish for gold to fall down, but if gold starts to pull back from here, I mean, okay, sure. I mean, but it already moved above $4,000. But the pullback on gold, I believe, is related to the ceasefire. Now, let's go over to BTC, because Bitcoin has been left in the dust. Yes, I'm sure that all of the gold bugs, like Peter, what's his face? He's super excited right now. He's gloating. That's fine. Go ahead and gloat, man. It's okay. Because when you zoom out from inception until now, I'm pretty sure Bitcoin started from nothing and now it's at $121,000 versus gold. Nothing against people holding gold. It's okay. But now BTC had a pretty nasty pullback yesterday. When we measure it out here on the daily time frame, it doesn't look very pretty. Wick to wick down 3%, which is pretty rough. It did only close down 1.3%, but this lower wick is not good. This lower wick basically tells the market we can go down there and lower. It's basically the inverse of one of these, where we can go up higher. We can go up higher. On a downtrend, when we have these lower wicks, basically it's telling the market, yeah, we can go down there. We can go down there again. We can go down there again. So I'm I'm a little bit disappointed, but I'm not surprised, I guess I should say, that BTC had another bit of volatility yesterday, another pullback. I'm happy to see that the close yesterday is higher than Wednesday's open. I'm happy that the price is still above the cloud, which is a sign of it being strong bullish. On the 4-hour time frame, I'm happy to see that we don't have any closed longs, which would negate the TBO breakouts, which are still valid, as crazy as that sounds. The one thing that's clear is that anytime the price of Bitcoin drops inside of the cloud, time frame matters a lot, I should say. So I do want to make sure that it's super clear that on the weekly, that BTC is still looking good. It's still above the cloud. On the daily, it's still above the cloud. But on the 4-hour, it's in bearish consolidation. But this is a fast time frame. It could easily just shoot out above here. One other thing to note is that it's a really messy overhead resistance level. I don't even know if I could call this a parallel channel at all, to be honest, because it's just so bad. Maybe we could call that, but that's also like cheating. Really, a parallel channel should be drawn from one high to the next high. It shouldn't just be like cherry picked like this. So either it's a parallel channel or we just draw out resistance like this. So I think personally that resistance works much better. And we already have several pierces. There's a pierce here, a fairly decent pierce here. But the price is also not closing above this level. It's still massively short term. I mean, this literally just started on Tuesday of this week and it's Friday now. So this isn't like super strong resistance, meaning that it most likely will push above. But just understand that BTC did hit a new all-time high on Monday, but it also failed to really close above this TBO resistance level at $124,000. Yes, it's still strong bullish. Yes, volume exceeded the moving average yet again. So we're looking at 5 days in a row here on Binance's BTC USDT market of Bitcoin outperforming the moving average. That's amazing. On balance volume still looks great. The moving average is still climbing up. That's good. Now, clearly we had a high here on daily RSI. The recovery bounce that we saw, or recovery rally, I guess we could kind of say, on Wednesday only moved up to 67. So we're most likely going to see something like this, in my opinion. Like the trajectory has already started. If we get some sort of a move up, RSI might move up here, but I don't really see any cause for it to shoot up above resistance right now. What does that have to do with price action? Well, basically, I feel like we're going to be repeating something like this. I really don't want to, and I still think that we're going to do really well this month because our historical performance for October is green. So we should be closing up towards $130,000, believe it or not. Now, Ethereum, of course, it had a deeper pullback because it's Ethereum. Remember how we had these 3 TBO close longs that I was telling you guys, and I was saying this isn't good. Yesterday, when I started the video, it was in progress. After that printed, we had a pullback of 4%. Yes, we're having a little bit of a bounce right now. Yes, we have a super weak RSI reset on the 4-hour time frame, but the price of Ethereum closed back inside of the daily TBO cloud yet again, which is a transition back to being in bearish consolidation, just like this and just like this. It's not good. If we even want to take a different angle of this too, and we want to just remove the TBO and other indicators, Ethereum also lost short-term support. If we draw this out here, okay, so it lost it on Wednesday in the early hours in the morning. So things, and it even came back up to test it on Thursday, yesterday, and it got rejected. So it's still rough no matter how you look at it. It's not looking great. It's not looking super Genki right now, as we'd say in Japan. It's not looking really energetic. Stablecoin dominance, unfortunately, did what I did not want it to do. It bounced up here and it hit previously broken support. It appears like this isn't the end of the world, but it's not good. Like I said before, like I don't want to see stablecoin dominance move up because we know when stablecoin dominance moves up higher, that's a sign of fear. That's basically when we're going to see some bearish price action across the board, which is what we're seeing yesterday, right? And I've also been saying, guys, watch out because, I mean, I don't expect it to happen, but the last time we've had TBO breakdowns followed by a TBT bullish divergence and close shorts, which is basically the same recipe here, same recipe back over here. So mid-August and over here, mid-September, if we go to Bitcoin, mid-August, right about here, Bitcoin is at $120,000 1,000 or so, and then we saw it lose 12%. If we go over to mid-September, Bitcoin was at, 117, and it lost 7%. So could this be the start of another downtrend? I really hope not. But to be honest, I see a lot of similarities right now. What would change things is to see stablecoin dominance drop a whole lot, which means Bitcoin has to pump and everything else has to pump it too. Bitcoin dominance closed up higher yesterday, which is a good sign to a degree. I mean, it depends on which side of the fence you're on. I still think that Bitcoin dominance has to touch the TBO fast line. I think it might go up as high as 61% before it starts falling. So right now, everything is on track as far as Bitcoin dominance is concerned in my book. Others' dominance still looks pretty bearish. It fell even more yesterday. It's been bearish ever since we saw these 3 TBO close longs, unfortunately. Totally 50 dominance on the 4-hour time frame confirmed a TBO breakdown. Now, this could be a pivot low. It really could be, kind of like these ones back over here, but it's a little bit too early to call it like, oh yeah, that's it. But it's not a good sign. It's a bearish continuation sign. And we already looked at gold. Now, over here on AllTradey, I just want to give you guys an update with my automated long. It's still open. I'm still in profit. I'm still holding the position. I'm going to let it run. And other good news is that my position here on Masa, I actually had this position finally close. It's this one from back over here that was open for 25 days. So it bought way back over here, which was super frustrating. And I DCA'd into it. And basically there was a flash pump for like 37% on Masa, and I got closed out of my position, and the bot is starting up yet again, which is insane. So now the bot's running, it's back in business, it's doing its thing, it's making profits. This is how I've been trading the entire time. This is my style of trading that I teach at our courses at thebettertraders.com. So if you're interested to learn more about DCA bot trading, how to passively accumulate coins you're interested, and maybe it's even just stable coins like USDT, check out 15 Minutes to Financial Freedom. It is a fantastic course. It comes with one-on-one coaching, comes with free TBT signals that are available on AllTradey. It comes with content to learn how to use the best third-party trading platform ever, which is AllTradey. I have a video coming out about it as well on Sunday that I'm really excited about. Plus, you also get a 1-month trial to the Better Traders Club, which includes trial access to the TBO indicator, which I shared before, watch lists in the club, a lot of other stuff. There's a ton, actually. So if you want access to the TBO and you just want to check it out, join the trader tier because that includes the TBO. Or if you just want to be a crypto cheapo, which nothing's wrong with that, join the starter tier. I also want to draw your attention to the links for the exchanges down below. There's one for Femex, and there's also one for BYDFi. You can check out both of those. Now, I want to get to today's picks. I have several that I'm really, really excited to talk about. But before I do, you know what to do. Like the video, leave a comment with the picks that you want me to check out, and also share these videos if you can. Share my channel with other people. My goal is to have this channel hit 100,000 subs, and it only happens by you all sharing. So let's start with today's picks. BNB on the daily time frame had a pullback. Not a really terrible one, to be honest, only 4%. It can be kind of devastating for BNB. The last time it had a pullback like this, it pulled back all the way to the TBO fast line. So for those of you that are patient, what you can do, again, if you have the TBO, is basically you just set an order, right? You set an order or an alert so that when BNB crosses the TBO fast line, cool, and do it once per minute. That way you know, and it's going to be just going ping, 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 ping. It's going to let you know every single time. Then that's how you get your entry. And that essentially is what we call a TBO springboard bounce. It's a great re-entry opportunity for trading. Now, we have these light blue flags here for BNB and for Monero XMR because of TBO breakouts. These TBO breakouts have resulted in an incredible move as high as 23 or 24%. Right now, it's up 15, 16%. They're still valid until we get one of these blue diamonds, which is a TBO close long. Monero XMR has had a really shaky start of the month, moving at 15%, and then it's down, and then it's up. We have another TBO breakout, really separated from the first one. Not sure how to really interpret this one, to be honest, but the chart is moving up higher. Cornflakes, this one is bouncing a little bit off of support right now on the daily time frame, and on the 4-hour time frame, it's also showing support. So I think that we might see another little bounce here, maybe to the fast line at about 15 cents. TAO, this one is looking pretty decent as well. This one has an orange flag because of a TBO Close short back over here. I'm getting distracted. TAO, this one's actually moved up quite a bit. We did close the TBO Close short here, the orange diamond, which is the inverse of the close long. And we close it when the price comes back and it tags the fast line. That's our entry. So we got two possible entries here. Price is up about 6% from there, and it looks like it's going to be heading up to test overhead resistance, which has been in play for a really long time, if I'm not mistaken, since December. Yep. So that's a pretty amazing move for TAO. ZORA, this one has been moving a lot. What's really incredible with this chart is that we had this TBT bullish divergence back over here on Tuesday, which is a nice bullish reversal signal. We can see the price had an incredible 46% pump yesterday. Really, wick to wick over 60%. And today, it moved up initially all the way up here to the 618. Now, I opened up a short position a little bit too early, but I opened up a short position because the price pierced the 618 level. ZORA could still go up higher, and I'm not going to necessarily be holding onto my short position for a long time. But anytime we see the price just pump like this, way too high, way too fast, I'm going to be opening up a short position to take some profits on the pullback. The chart's still super bullish. I mean, on the 4-hour time frame, just so you know, 4-hour RSI right now is at 91.15, which is super frothy. It's going to change a lot. The last confirmed candle this morning is at 89.13. The other thing to watch as well on this is volume. Massive spike here. Massive. Basically looking at almost 10 times the average volume overnight on the huge pump, which is incredible. That's a massive, massive move. And I'm not going to say, oh, it's pumped too high, too fast, so it's going to come down. Well, I mean, charts like this could also just keep pumping. They could just keep rallying higher and higher. But one thing to keep in mind is that anything that moves too high, too fast can have a pullback. It can. Mantle, this one, after having an incredible week from Sunday all the way up to yesterday, moving up 47% in 5 days, it printed a TBT bearish divergence on a nasty 13% pullback. On the 4-hour time frame, we also have some TBT bearish divergences. This is different than the TBO indicator. They let us know just when there's a bearish divergence or when there's a bullish one. But to be honest, this is still a valid TBO breakout. On the 4-hour time frame, there were 2 TBO breakouts here. This is a valid TBO breakout. Notice that these are printing before the price has exploded, at least on the 4-hour time frame. This is actually a beautiful entry right there. 45% is insane. I don't think Mantle is necessarily done, but again, we continue to watch RSI. So we know that there was a massive high over here on daily RSI on the 22nd of July. Yes, I am going to write a children's book at 90.43. Then we have a lower high here on the 12th of September at 89.83. We haven't seen a massive increase here. Notice though what's happening in the pattern. Can you see this? So daily RSI is putting in higher lows. That's a good sign. We might see it fall a little bit more. But right now, I mean, the chart's just massively bullish. It's just having a minor pullback. Render. This one is looking, I'm sorry. So that the reason why this one is pink, again, I'm so sorry. The reason why this is pink right now is because of the TBT bearish divergence on the daily. Render also has a very bearish sign on the 4-hour time frame. So there is a big difference, and I'm so glad this chart is showing it right here. So see these 3 TBO breakdowns. So these yellow dots are the inverse of the white dots, like for BNB and XMR. The reason why these are so good is because when these print before the breakout, not after the breakout, after the price has fallen 12%, then they print, it's not as valid. So this right here is much better because it's right at support. These are printing in a tight cluster. Render could dump a lot more. Where could it fall? Well, if it loses support, which it's teasing, the next real strong level is down here at 273. Fetch printed a massive loss yesterday, 11.5%, which is rough. It's a second TBO breakdown on the daily on the 4-hour. Now, this is most likely going to be a reversal here, the same way that this one was a reversal. See how these are printing late after the move, and then we have a huge reversal rally. There might be one here for fetch. I'm not sure yet. For WIF, this one printed a TBO breakdown on the daily. It already lost support. This is one that was actually requested by some of you, but I wanted to talk about it anyway, just because it's looking pretty beat up. Ever since it lost support in late September, it's just been looking really bad. We can see it trying to reclaim, but Tuesday it lost 8%. It's just losing support. It's dropping lower and lower. Another thing to keep in mind as well, this is one of the reasons why I like the TBO so much, is because whenever the price goes below the cloud, and this mass right here in the middle, let me hide the price so you can see it a little bit more clearly. So this is the TBO cloud. It's comprised of 4 different moving averages that are right here. There's the TBO fast line, mid fast, mid slow, and slow. So that's all 4 of these. When the price falls below the cloud, that's basically a change or a transition to being strong bearish. So as soon as this happened back over here on the 22nd of September, even without all of the support and resistance levels, that was our bearish cue that things are not looking good for the chart. So unfortunately, WIF is just struggling right now. Oh, awesome. My short's doing nice. Good. Go lower. Oh, you're going to hit my second take profit. That'll be a nice little profit right there. XPL Plasma. This one had a massive pullback yesterday, which is too bad because it was on support, absolutely lost it. The price has fallen though to the 618. Now it is deceiving to want to open up a position here along, because we get into this mentality of, oh, it's fallen so far, it needs to bounce up higher. While we will have a good RSI reset, this is actually really nice, and we're putting in a higher low today, most likely. Be careful, because XPL could still fall a lot more. So don't feel like, oh, I'm getting such a good deal here. What I would rather do for looking for an entry is I would much rather be looking for one of these orange TBO Close shorts. To me, that's a much better signal for finding an entry, personally. ASTER over here, ASTER is looking pretty great in terms of it falling massively. Again, if you're shorting, but we've already been talking about this, right? Let me go ahead and just hide a bunch of stuff. Let me hide this just to make it a little bit easier to see in the TBO. Cool. So this is why support and resistance levels are so important. When we finally closed below it early on yesterday morning, just a brutal drop of 20%. And again, just because it's falling more and more and you think, oh, this is the lowest it's going to go, just be really careful. Now, one thing to watch is, now that we have a higher low, if it's actually not going to fall lower, this could be a really good sign of a wedge. Now, I wouldn't look to get here. In here, I would look to get in somewhere down here about $1.56 or so and trade it up in the range. But the problem right now is that it's very much bearish. It's very much oversold as well, and we haven't had an RSI reset yet. The other thing that's scary on this chart is that on the 4-hour, we see RSI at 16.41. Be really careful, because when we see lower lows, that is not a like, oh, buy the dip moment. Like, that's bad. That is not a very positive sign. So be really careful with ASTER right now. XLM, this one, I also have a short position open that I'm holding and waiting, because I saw a second TBO Close long print yesterday. I'm actually expecting it to dip a lot lower, just like the last 2 ones. Now, one thing to keep in mind with the TBO Close longs, the blue diamonds, is that we do wait for the price to go up and tag the fast line, like it did back over here on the 4th of August, like it did here on the 22nd of August. But seeing 2 of these close together is a bearish sign. It's a bearish signal to me, and I'm looking at this going, well, that's too bad, because, I mean, I would like to see XLM do a lot better, just like the rest of the market, but I'm also seeing some signs of exhaustion. RSI is losing strength, on-balance volume is looking kind of weak, and volume in general is looking pretty weak. So I won't be surprised to see a pullback down here to the 618 if things get really nasty and ugly. Aptos, this one actually had a TBO springboard bounce almost. The price did tag the daily TBO fast line, the green line right there. This is a chart that we talked about a lot, especially last week, seeing lots of these TBT bearish divergences. We got a TBO close long yesterday, and then the price dumped about 7%. Yes, we might see a short-term bounce, But the main thing right now to watch is we are waiting for the price to tag the fast line because that's the expected behavior after seeing one of these blue dots. But understand that this is still not so great. We have an RSI reset, which is kind of okay, but we're seeing a lot of strength being lost on the 4-hour time frame. On the daily time frame, we're also seeing strength being lost. Volume is also starting to decrease and diminish. We're seeing lower highs on here, which shows a lack of interest. So I'm personally still waiting for Aptos to fall down probably here to about 405, where I have another order to buy more because I sold about half up here and I want to get more on a 26% discount. That's my plan. IP has printed a third TBO close long on the daily. That's not a good sign. They're not necessarily in a cluster, all three of these blue diamonds right here. These guys, if they were really close together, that'd be really, really rough. But the truth is that IP was on an incredible rally. Am I right? Like ever since back over here in July, literally moved up 400%. But now we're seeing a huge shift in volume. We're not seeing higher highs, we're seeing lower highs, and volume is underperforming massively. Relative strength index has fallen off massively as well. So I'm not necessarily saying like this one's done, but it has definitely lost the attention and the admiration of the market for sure. SPX, this one, again, I'm watching volume is putting in lower highs right now, which is not great. RSI is still putting in lower highs as well. On the 4-hour time frame, we did see SPX put in a TBO close long. The price has since pumped back up here. It might move up to $1.598 to be specific, the 618 level again. I'm still on the fence about it. I think that it could do well. I think that eventually we'll see SPX go up higher because it's a meme coin and we'll see it recover. But the main thing right now with it is that it's consolidating is all. We don't want to see strength being lost because we're going to see something like this and then it might lose again. All right, so a must-watch price action, Litecoin had a surprising move up 6% out of nowhere. And there's probably news to support the pump, but literally in a 1-hour candle early this morning for me, 6% is really weird. Extremely weird for Litecoin. So moving up here to the 618, it's an impressive show, but I don't know if it's sustainable. Looking over here for SUI, unfortunately, we're seeing it pierce and close below support. I'm really hoping, or I was hoping to see a good bump and run. I don't think we're going to see it, unfortunately. RSI is still putting in lower lows. Volume is still falling down. It's too bad. Pepe has put in a really rough drop here, about 5%. On the 4-hour time frame, though, it could see a bounce because it's fallen to TBO support on the 4-hour. But again, these bounces are risky to play. If you are going to enter on the bounce, the first thing I do is I look to sell at the fast line, or at least de-risk if you're going to be on the 4-hour time frame, taking profit quickly at the 4-hour fast line to de-risk by 50% or so. Excuse me. So that way you're just sitting risk-free in the position. And if it goes against you, well, at least you can put your stop loss in the entry zone, which is basically your take profit. Now, I only have 2 charts, and it's okay today, honestly, because of how crazy the market is, and I understand. But if you, again, have charts that you're interested in me to check out, leave a comment down below. First up is Linnea. One thing that I'm noticing on this chart, I like the fact that it's a new listing, and that's a really good sign. You can clearly see that RSI is putting in lower highs, and it's starting just to look a little bit bearish. But this is actually a good thing, to be honest, because the moment that we see RSI break above this, that's going to signify a massive shift, a massive change. Now, there was a lot of heavy selling happening back over here, probably from the exchange, to be honest, although I don't know and I can't confirm that. But the good news is that on the 4-hour with the TBO, the price has come down here to support. This would be the best place to see it bounce. I would not expect it to pump all the way up here, 19%. I would look for like half of that move just to be conservative. So up here to like 0.027 or so, which from support is a decent 9% move. It's not a bad sign at all, but the chart is admittedly quite choppy and bearish. So just be careful. And another one to check out is HBAR Hedera hash graph. While this one had a strong uptrend for the TBO slow line, it has since fallen and stayed inside of the TBO cloud. It's still rough. Now, one thing I would love to see happen for Hedera is to see it push and hold above. Now, we saw one attempt at this and it obviously failed. So we got this happening. It's still really rough. Piercing below the cloud is never a really strong sign for these charts, unfortunately. RSI is sub-neutral. It's not really moving up higher. We did have an RSI reset in late September, but volume is kind of okay, but it's not really showing any interest or excitement at all. If I were to look for an entry on this chart, I would be looking at historical TBO support, which basically is where it's at right now, and current support at 20 cents. But the risk lies in the fact that if things get worse, we have a lot of downside room to fall down here back to 13 cents. So again, we need to keep an eye right now on BTC and its health. Going into the weekend, I think that, again, because BTC put in a long lower wick, I won't be surprised to see BTC drag and slip a little bit lower, which means that a lot of these coins are going to start to suffer. There might be some outliers like ZORA, which is now pulling back up. There we go. Got my second take profit target. Almost hit, which is great. Oh, maybe I should adjust it. I'm going to end the video so I can adjust it. But the main thing is go over to thebettertraders.com, check out our courses, check out the club, and also stay tuned for the video that I have up on Sunday on alt trading and the quizzes and the education that you can learn, that you can get from their platform to become a better trader. So before you go, watch this video, and until the next time, you know what to do. Stay awesome and stay in the green. Peace.